Thank you for coming back. This is Lon Schaefer with Busy Life. I'm the project manager. And again, thank you so much for Bruce coming back with us and talking about the next coming of how people are changing the way they're going about consuming, as well as how we're going to change the way we are marketing to people. Because remember, the last time we had a discussion with Bruce, he specifically talked about how we have to look at customization and working together instead of competing with each other to grow our market. So thank you, Bruce, for coming back. And let's have that you were mentioning to me about artificial intelligence available within your handheld thing.
All right, all of us are pretty much familiar with Siri and a few of the other Google and a few of the Facebook and a few of the massive artificial intelligence systems that are out there. They want to give you free software so you can use their services, so they can track your buying habits, so they can sell your data to advertisers and to marketplaces. Well, that's all well and good for big companies, but it doesn't help the small guy.
No, no.
All right, so what we've done is and this is what's going to help in the future, which is going to help a lot of people. What we've done is we've brought it to the point where we have a small individual AI that represents you.
What's AI again?
Artificial intelligence.
Artificial intelligence. And it's going to represent me? How so?
Well, it works as your 24-hour docent.
What's a docent?
An assistant, a butler, or it's a bad name for it, but it's somebody who has your desires and wants in its foremost. That's all it does. Okay, so it protects your identity, so nobody knows who went to what, but they do know someone went there.
So like right now, I don't ever post on Facebook where I'm located.
Right.
Because I don't need anybody to know where I am, right?
Right.
People collecting money from me. I don't want people to know where I am, right?
Yep.
So what you're saying is my docent or my AI will end up representing me, saying I'm with Bruce and we are having lunch at so-and-so place, right?
Right.
But it doesn't know that it's Lon Schaefer.
That's right. And it only knows this person's there. Or even better, let's say we're driving between cities, okay? And you, Lon, what's your favorite food?
Anything that doesn't eat me back?
Oh, God.
I don't want it to be replicated, I can tell you that. No, let's just say sushi.
Okay, let's just say that's a good one, because there's no commercial sushi chain to speak of.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
So we're driving down the highway, and all you see on the side of the road is these blue signs that have the choke and pukes. I mean, the standard people over and over and over again. The chains.
Right.
And they're the only ones that can afford to advertise there. Now, there may be a great sushi restaurant a half a mile off the road.
Right.
Okay, however.
But I wouldn't know that.
Exactly. So, however, with that being the case, you can't find them and they can't advertise to you. So everybody used to say, "Oh, buy a Valpak." How many people even look at them now? Most of the time, I don't even
They just
open
go
them.
straight into my garbage can.
Exactly. So you have this very small usage. And then you have to remember to keep it when you drive out of town to use it then. And it has to be a window and all this kind of stuff. Now, wouldn't it be better if the docent is searching for the type of restaurants you have that you like while you're driving, and it finds one with a coupon, and it negotiates with them and says, for $3 or whatever, I will come to your restaurant. Give me a coupon.
Really?
Give me a coupon, and I will give it to my owner, and we'll come to eat.
And it does it automatically without me prompting my... Let's just call my docent Big Bird. I always wanted to deal with Big Bird.
Big Bird 72.
Yeah, Big Bird is coming to town, and she wants some sushi.
Yes.
And Big Bird is going to get me a coupon that loaded up onto my phone, or
it
how
loads
does
up
it
onto your phone. If you say yes, it loads up to your phone, and that's the only time he pays. He only pays $3 when you say yes one time. So the small business guy doesn't have to pay all this money up front. He doesn't have to get waylaid with expenses, and he controls his costs. Okay, some of the other places don't control their costs. They cost them more to deliver than it actually can bring them in. So they have to hope for a repeat. Well, this one you can actually, if he does his cost right, he can still profit from the first time you're there.
What if, well, lately I've been looking at my house, and I've had it for almost 15 years. It's needle painting, right?
Yeah.
So I'm not in the car, I'm not driving around, so I'm not, can this Big Bird, can my Big Bird go search for me house painter?
Oh yes, oh yes. You just program. You just tell it what you're looking for.
Really?
Right. Well, see, there's tools already like the Amazon Echo and Google Home and a few others that are there to let people see and create actions for them. But what you do is this thing, you let them know what's going on, and it will go out there and find for you.
Now, here's another thought of mine: is can my Big Bird docent also query for the ones that are rated, really good rating, and because I don't want a serial killer showing up at my front door either.
Yeah.
So I almost need a service that would query all the available small business, because I love doing business with local guys, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if they can query it, they can search their background for me so that I know that, hey, this is a person that's not gonna kill me or in trouble, and then I can negotiate. My Big Bird can negotiate on pricing and everything for me.
Yes.
Oh wow! Now, how does this differ from? Do you know how I have a GPS thing on my smartphone? My GPS thing can tell me what's nearby.
Right.
How's that different from?
Well, you have to actively go after it.
What do you mean actively go after it?
You have to say, okay, what's nearby? Restaurants, hotels, and you have to go look for it. Well, for example, here's my biggest thing. I do not like 5-star hotels personally.
Okay.
I like 3.5 stars because I don't like paying for internet, I don't like paying for breakfast, and I don't like paying for parking.
Right.
So I'll stay at the Hyatt places and the Hilton Gardens and some of those Fairfields and all those versus staying at the 5 stars. So my docent knows that, so it gives me hotels that fit my wants and desires. So it will know what I like. The more I use it, the more it will know what I like, the more it will deliver the things that I need when I need them and where I need them at. The other advantage is small businesses can't afford to have all these apps, so we set up a system to where the small business could just put up some basic files, and when you drive near it, it'll download what you want into your phone, what you normally use, and it'll be in your app section. So when you pull it up, you can see menus, you can see shows, you can see anything you want to go, and then when you drive away, it goes away. So the whole point is you get control of your life by not having to manually do everything. Now, see, this is what I'm talking about entrepreneurs having to look at the things that need to be changed. There's so many things that are going to have to be looked at from that point of view. How do I keep these things and make them smoother?
Right.
Okay? And that's what the entrepreneurs are going to need to be doing.
So does your GoE3 company offer the tools for these small entrepreneurs to utilize to send a message about who they are to the neighborhood, to the people who are driving by?
Well, that's what we created. This as a galaxy for small businesses to participate in, and that's the way I looked at it. Was how do we allow small businesses to level off the playing field between them and the big guys?
Oh, that is amazing. And you can do this more than just restaurants. You can do it with any type of services.
Any type of services, any type of thing. The point is, the Big Bird is your individual tool.
Because privacy is a huge thing. I mean, I love technology, but I have to admit, I don't want to be so accessible to everyone. You know what I mean?
I've been stalked before. People have tried to, why are you there? What's going on? My whole point is that you shouldn't be, as an individual, subject to that.
Right.
And if you allow somebody into your friend network, you should be able to let them know where you're at if you want to. But you should always have the ability to say no individually instead of no group. Okay.
Right.
I don't like the fact that in order to prevent the hacking or the stalking, I have to turn off Facebook location services altogether.
Right.
I like the idea of it being able to be monitored. Now, the whole thing about it being Big Bird again is the Big Bird is protected, but it still comes down to what can the entrepreneur do to help. The entrepreneur can do, how do I make this a bigger market for me? One of my favorite restaurants driving north is this little gourmet Mexican restaurant in Camp Verde. Nobody in the world knows about that place.
Right.
But it's a gourmet Mexican restaurant. But nobody knows about it because they're off the road a half mile and nobody thinks to stop there.
Right. Because we don't know it's there.
That's exactly right. So with the onset of electric cars being easier to drive and to be able to explore the environment, this is going to bring back the tools and the way life was approached in the 60s versus the way it's approached now. It will actually could slow our time down to stop and smell the roses, which is really what things is going to be about, is really life experiences. Again, comes back to what the millennials want to do. They want to experience life versus work for life. Right. They don't want to be a slave to a car. Every one of us, when I was growing up, wanted to have a car. And when we got a car, then we realized what true slavery was.
Yes.
We had to work for the car 24 hours a day. We had to get gas. We had to get this. This broke down. I need everywhere you turn around. But electric cars are a lot more reliable than the standard car because there's only 91 moving parts versus 18,000.
Wow,
you have,
I did not know that.
Yeah, the way things were in the 60s is going to be the way they are going to be now. So we're going to have a lot more free capital that won't go into being enslaved to the car, and that'll go back into the society. We'll be able to spend it in the restaurants, seeing the second largest bottle of wine. All of that's going to be available to us where we haven't had it in quite a while. And so, if anything, we're going to be, how do we make our life less complicated and more enjoyable? And that's what
quality of life versus quantity of life.
Yes. So they are actually, whatever their reasons for doing it, this is a good. The end of the line is this is a good thing for societies to be less worried about consuming things and more worried about enjoying life.
And that brings us to our conclusion for today. Busy life, the whole point of having busy life is that it is all about you and how you communicate to the world. What is your significance in that? And our job at Busy Life is to offer you the support system and the community that truly helps you to amplify who you are and how you are the added value to that society. Whether you are starting a business or, in many cases, it could be being an independent contractor.
Right.
You don't have to be a business owner. You can be an independent contractor. So literally, you are an employee to yourself, but you offer a major service for a short term or a particular project to anyone whenever you want it to be.
Oh, it's a big confidence builder. So a lot of people they have these ideas, but they can't be they don't have confidence, and this will just help them do that. I can see that very much clearer.
Right. And utilizing technology you're talking about, we can actually connect people who are, there are people who are great mechanics. They just love to deal with their hands. Mm-hmm. But don't ask them to market themselves. Forget it. And then there are people like me. I'm all about marketing you. I don't want to get my hands dirty. So connecting with people like me to offset where you don't want to be, we both can do the things that we love, right?
Yes, exactly.
And do really good at it. And that's where collaboration comes in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
Well, thank you so much, Bruce,
Enjoyed
today. Thank you. And good luck with Go E3.
Go E3.
Go E3. Check them out. Thank you.